Welcome back to Akira Kizzau, an Aspects of More novel by Mike L. Manders, issue number 8, Nevermore. How long has it been? Pumpkin asked as the three walked through the dimly lit streets of New Salem. The spellcasters that lived in the city fully embraced the American Earther appeal known as Halloween. A perpetual autumn was in effect as leaves were ushered into piles for controlled burns. Kizzau loved the city and loved that every year, near the end, the humans celebrated Christmas in the style of an animated film called The Nightmare Before Christmas. Ari and I visited a few months back on our anniversary, Kizzau said. You were away with your heroic group. It was Ari's first trip here. Her eyes darted all over. I swear she almost cried when it was time to go home. I've been secretly plotting an extended vacation here. Oh, you were here for the harvest, Pumpkin said as they turned a corner to see the cemetery head. A pair of wrought iron gates stood closed. The harvest brings the city to life like no other time of year, Snow said as she tapped a device at her hip. Kizzau noted the apprehension. The effort seemed looking for a fight. It was not a sight of her Kizzau had seen before. Is everything all right? Kizzau asked her. The BART stopped in her tracks less than a block from their destination. A few years ago I had a brush with one of the great evils, the Heaven Wraith. During the whole encounter, something seemed to gnaw at the back of my mind. Ever since our arrival, I have had the same sense of unease. Pumpkin Havoc turned to look at Snowsong. The expression on her mask was one of shock. It's true, then. You faced the beast that nearly devoured all of the Tree of Knowledge, the Scythe of Lodan. You know the cemetery has another of the great evils trapped on the other side of a dimensional door? Ifrit can sense great power coupled with intense malice, Snow said. So, okay, is watched over in New Salem? Why tempt fate? Why not destroy the gate? For the same reason there are people now guarding the path of to the Heaven Wraith, Pumpkin said. If we lose track of these beings, there are those that would free them to wreak untold horrors upon Mourn. I have a question, Kizzau said as some pieces tried to wedge together in her mind. Is your family somehow connected to the great evils? Both Snow and Pumpkin looked at her for long moments before the latter turned on her heels to begin walking toward the cemetery again. I have been told that my family comes from a long line of magic wielders that have stood guard over Eochade. I, however, have never seen a Furbolg. Furbolg? Snow asked. Pumpkinheads, Kizzau stated. Servants of Eochade. Eochade. It is said that if he stirs, they will grow from the ground and capture the unwary. How do we know you aren't one of these Furbolg? Snow asked with a playful lilt in her voice. You do wear a mask that emulates facial expressions from the jack-o'-lanterns of Earther culture. I wear this mask to mark the dedication I have to guarding New Salem from Aoke and his lot. She said, opening wide one of the large double gates. Besides, I look both cool and intimidating. My family crypt is around the bend from the entrance gates. All around the three were grave markers and tombs. Near a few of these were spirits of witches, still lingering to watch over the loved ones. Kizzau's parents had gone through a phase of research into mysticism that inspired some of the horror-themed movies from Earth. It had not been Kizzau's favorite subject. She found herself making excuses not to watch that particular fare from the world adjacent to their own. Some of the spirits nodded to Kizzau as she noticed them. A few even smiled. I thought ephemerals gravitated more toward Usher. These don't seem particularly bothered. They are no longer among the living. You can find ghosts, poltergeists, and wraiths all over Mourn, Pumpkin said. They are more heavily concentrated in Usher because the god of ravens gives them a chance at what he calls a second life. The spirits here sometimes move to Usher when nothing connects them to New Salem anymore, but those are few and far between. Witches are very protective of their families, which is why whoever ransacked my family crypt is in for a world of hurt. The three rounded the bend to see a house made of stone at the top of a small hill. A winding path led up to the building. Lined with arguing spirits, one of them raced over to Pumpkin Havoc as soon as they approached. "It's still in there," the elderly spirit said. "Evil, one-eyed beastie is tearing up the place. It even batted our cauldron around until it rolled out back down the hill." "We'll take care of it, Aunt Flora," Pumpkin said as a loud crash came from the house. "Besides, I think you can smell the living." "Why do you say that, dear?" the spirit asked. Before Pumpkin could respond, a loud growl came from the upper floor of the house turned crypt. As Kizzau readied her scythes, a large black cat emerged from the window. The hair of the cat was on end, like it was perpetually angry. However, the most unnerving thing about the cat was its single glowing white eye. "Another unique," Kizzau muttered as the creature jumped down at them. Confirmation of the creature's identity came in the form of the three tails it whipped about, trying to swap both spirits and heroics. They did indeed face Haman. And with that, we conclude issue number 8 of Akira Kizzau. We'll see you in the near future for issue number 9, and thank you for listening.